Hey everybody, Stewart Heath here, CEO and founder of Harvard Grace Capital, with another episode in our series 100 Questions You Should Be Asking Your Passive Activity Sponsor. So we've had a section on questions for the sponsor. Right now, today we're doing the last episode of the questions about the investment. For the sponsor about the investment, this is episode number 7 in that section. And next we'll come back with another session on finances and tax implications about the investment. So I got 4 questions to wrap up this section today. First question is, how will you stagger lease expirations during a big vacancy lump? Now this is specifically about multifamily deals. And if you're doing a value add, you're buying an existing property, you're going to improve it. Maybe you're buying something that was built in the early 90s, 1980s, and you're going to bring it up to modern standards. So you got tenants there, and then you're going to take down some units, improve them, and roll it. So the question is, how are you going to do that? What's the plan? What's the rollout plan? Because if part of your plan assumes you're going to keep some existing rent revenue, then you need to know what the plan is to not chase all those tenants off. And a construction project can easily chase off a lot of tenants. So you want to understand that. Here's a question I really like. What's the metric that tells you when it's time to refinance versus sell? It's more of an art than a science, because we love the model in our deals to once we get control of a property, we do several things to improve the net operating income. After about 3 years, that NOI, you put a cap rate on that. We might have increased the property value 25%. And could you sell it for that? Perhaps. Or what you can do is you can refinance that property, pull cash out, give it all back to the investors on a tax-free basis, and everybody is happy. And then you keep on operating the property, and the investors are still in. They might have all or most of their money back, so you just keep on owning the property. But there is a time to sell, and all of these markets and different asset classes, there's a time to sell and time to buy, and you're really watching market cap rates. So you really want your sponsor to become an expert at watching the market and know when it's time to refi and when it's time to sell, because there is a time to get out. 4th question for today. Will there be a reassessment of property taxes after the purchase you've just made, and then after all of the improvements you may have just made? This is a huge mistake I made on my first deal. Just assume property taxes would be property taxes. They might go up 2 or 3% a year. No, they're going to reassess the property taxes based upon the price that was just paid for the property. Now, that could be higher than the tax appraisal, could be lower. Our last deal, I just bought below tax appraisal, so I'm fully expecting our taxes to go down, but we may have to force their hand to do that. But if you're buying above the tax appraisal, your taxes are going to go up, and you need to put that into your plan, and you want to make sure your sponsor has done that. And our last question of this series is, ask the sponsor to rank the top 3 risks in this deal, and how do you plan to mitigate them? We always try to tell our investors that we eliminate interest rate risk by doing fixed rate debt. We don't do development or rehab, so we take out that kind of construction risk. The only risk that we really can't mitigate completely is vacancy risk, but we do that by diligencing the tenants on the front end, and then as we do turnover properties, who that is, because we're looking for long-term people in the properties that we manage. So great questions, and you need to listen to it's not an exercise of are you trying to show the sponsor how smart you are with the questions? You really want to hear their responses. So would love to talk with anybody about this. Go out to their website, get this free resource. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks a lot.